Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, we're looking at this last Church of Laodicea here in Revelations chapter 3. And the Lord had a harsh word for this church. He said to it, I know your works, that you're neither cold nor hot. I could wish that you were cold or hot, so then because you're lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, he says, I will vomit you out of my mouth. God said to this church, you make me sick because you should be cold or hot, but because you're lukewarm. Now, I mentioned yesterday how a cup of coffee just gradually gets lukewarm. A cup of cold water just gradually warms up. And I'm telling you, that's how it happens in the Christian life. And we lose our vigor, we lose our enthusiasm, we lose our energy for God because we skip reading our Bible here a little bit, we skip praying here, we instead of going to church, we do something else, we go back to our fellowship groups, we get out of touch with other believers, and the next thing you know, gradually we're sucked back into the old ways. Oh, God, help us today, all right? He said, I would you're cold or hot. And the sad thing is, to be cold or hot means you're so hot that everybody knows you're on fire for Jesus. You talk to people about Jesus. You can't get around someone and not talk about Jesus and talk about what he means to you and your love for him and his love for you, and you're sharing Jesus. That's when you're hot. That's when you say, what can I do, Pastor? How can I serve here at the church today? You're hot for Jesus. You're energetic for Jesus. Oh, I wish I had time to tell you all the Christians I know that are hot for Jesus. No, but I could also tell you about all the Christians that have become cold for Jesus. Cold for Jesus. And the sad thing is they're not cold enough that they're lukewarm. Because a cold person is one that nobody even knows they're a Christian. Nobody. They don't go to church anymore. They don't pray anymore. They don't talk about Jesus anymore. They're cold. Now, isn't it interesting? He said, I would you were cold or hot. He would rather you be cold. Rather be cold. Totally cold. Okay? But he says you're lukewarm. In other words, you still go to church. You still talk to people and say, I'm a Christian. Yeah, I go to this church and I do this for the Lord and so forth. But there are so many things in your life. You're a hypocrite. That's what you are. You're a lukewarm Christian. And God says it makes me sick because sometimes you act like you're a Christian. Other times people can't tell you're Christians. And I'm telling you, the biggest obstacle between a lost person who needs Jesus, okay, and what keeps him from Jesus is the hypocrite. The hypocrite has come between him and God. Oh, my friend, today we need to be cold or hot. But because we're lukewarm, we have made God sick. Now we've lost our vigor. The church had become complacent, had become lethargic, had become like, well, I am rich. Well, matter of fact, that's the next thing he says. They had lost their value. Because you say, I am rich and increase with goods, I have become wealthy, I have need of nothing. Don't you remember how Jesus said, without me, you can do nothing? They forgot about Jesus. Remember at the end of this chapter, Jesus is standing outside the church. He's standing outside the person's life. He's knocking on the door and he wants in. Why? Because he's not there in person, helping, guiding, leading as the good shepherd and doing what only he can do in our lives. We're not dependent upon him anymore. To lose our first love doesn't mean we lost the feeling we had when we got saved years ago, 1971 for me. What it means is I've lost my dependency upon God. I'm just reading my Bible. I'm just praying. I'm just going through the motions. I'm just talking to people about Jesus because that's what I've always done. I'm dependent on my experience and on my knowledge that I've gained over the years. I'm not asking God for mercy and help and grace and repenting every moment of every day for sins and things that I'm not doing that I ought to be doing for the glory of God. Oh, we lose first this fervency and vigor for the Lord, and then we lose our value. Oh, God help us. We think we're rich and we're poor. So may the Lord speak to our hearts today, and we can come back to him. And we're going to talk about how each of these churches, he tells them how to come, in each of these conditions, he tells them how to come back to the Lord. Well, God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you're not lukewarm, if you're lukewarm, be miserable. God bless you. Have a great day.